going to be another wet day in the upper Midwest with the threat of severe weather. Good morning. Welcome to Weather Center. I'm Kristen Dodd.
And I'm Mark Mancuso, and you may be tempted to try out some of that sunscreen. You better, otherwise you get a pretty bad burn this time of year if you live in the east. But it's very warm temperatures, good for most folks, but it also means the potential for flooding in the northeast, a lot of snow melting in Vermont and eastern New York. Let's take a look at the temperatures early this morning. Whoa, look at this. Temperatures still way up there, averaging 20 to 30 degrees above where they should be this time of year from the heartland right into the northeast. What an incredibly mild night it was. And I'm sure some of you were kicking the comforters off the bed as it was just a little too stuffy in the house. Actual low temperature, 56 in Boston, 57 in Pittsburgh, Washington, D.C. Look at Charleston, West Virginia, only 67 degrees last night. Looking at the current temperatures, you can see the mild air coming up through the plain states all the way up to Chicagoland. Pinch yourself, it's 54. Incredible warmth early this morning at Cincinnati and right up into Boston, where it's 63 degrees. Yesterday, 85 in Boston, Hartford hit 84, Warwick, Rhode Island, 83. Checking out temperatures in the Eastern Caribbean, they were similar to these temperatures, so just imagine yourself down there in the tropics sipping on a nice cold drink, and that's the way it felt. And it was kind of breezy too, so you had that tropical breeze. In Montpelier, Vermont, 72, record high yesterday. Mount Washington, 52. You see numbers like that up there in the North Country, you start to think about the potential for melting that snow. And temperatures yesterday running 30 to 35 degrees above average here, and that translated into a 78 in Burlington and 85 in Boston. Notice that was only 47 here up around Caribou. Some of that cooler air is slipping down across the Great Lakes and the Northeast. So temperatures here, 30s, 40s, and 50s, but south of our frontal zone, look at how warm it is. 66 in the Big Apple. It'll stay very warm in New York and Boston today. 65 in Charleston, 76 in Miami, 71 in Houston. Very humid though, as those mild moist breezes flow northward. Lincoln, Nebraska, 63 and 65 in Cincinnati. Do see that front though, and on the other side of it, it's cold. We're down to the 30s here, and rain's changing to snow. And then as we get you down through the Rockies and the Great Basin, it's cool. Los Angeles, 39, Vegas, 39. Very cold storm for this time of year in the southwest, and with the winds around that, some pretty low wind chills. More on that storm, what it means for you, here's Kristen.
And if you're in the upper Midwest and in the northern plains, you want to stay alert today. Not only do we have rain, but also the potential for strong thunderstorms. Let's go ahead and check out some of the latest. This coming from Iowa, as now we are beginning to see some of these storms pop near Waterloo. Watch out in Grundy Center. It looks like you're getting some of those storms as we're coming on through. These moving to the northeast at about 30 miles an hour. So watch out. This cell here, strong, we don't have a severe thunderstorm warning at this point, but in Waterloo, as this moves up to the northeast, that's where you're going to see some lightning come across your area and heavy downpours. We're not only looking at just this batch of rough weather coming through, but also the potential for more severe weather later on this afternoon. Let's go ahead and check out our water vapor loop, and we can explain a little bit why, as we have plenty of moisture that's now moving up to the north. And here you can see those cells firing up here, and also some stronger storms beginning to move into northern Missouri. As our area of low pressure in Colorado and the associated warm front lifts up to the north, we're going to see convergence in this area. When you have that at the surface, you do see the potential for severe weather, and indeed we do have that today in Des Moines, also up towards Cedar Rapids and Waterloo. Minneapolis, you also could see strong to severe storms. Watch out in Milwaukee as well as in Chicago. Later on this afternoon, this area could be the one that's under the gun for the potential for strong storms, Oklahoma City and also up toward Topeka. Here's a look at the national radar, and most of the action is confined to the upper Midwest, where earlier we were getting some lightning and also some heavy rain in and around Aberdeen, South Dakota. You can see now stretching southward where we're having the line of storms just now beginning to come out. That's where we do have the lightning in the skies. A little bit closer viewpoint of Minneapolis shows some rain in your area, but stronger storms down toward Mankato, and all of these will be moving across your skies for this morning. In the northeast, we're looking at a fairly quiet morning with a little bit of light rain coming through the Mohawk Valley, but that should not be interfering with your outdoor plans today. Look for more warm weather across the northeast. We have warm weather in place in the southeast, and that's where we're also finding fog, but at this time no rain showing up on the map in the southeast. We're really not looking for any today. We're seeing plenty of snowfall with winter storm warnings in effect from Montana down toward the mountains of Arizona. Potential for at least a foot of snow, especially in the San Juan Mountains. Already some light snow beginning to fall in Rapid City. How much can we expect? Well, Mark has the forecast.
Okay, a very cold storm in the west. It means trouble for travelers, but a bonanza for skiers. This warm, moist air heads up into the plains. Heavy rain, strong to severe storms erupting. And the northeast, there's a weak front slipping in, but not before another warm day across southeast New York and southern New England. And high pressure off the east coast, pumping up those warm, moist breezes right up through the Mississippi River Valley. There you see your heavy rain threat extending out across the northern plains. Rain changes to heavy snow in the mountains of the west. Temperatures, though, just incredible throughout most of the east. And we'll be looking at 79 today in Boston with a pretty healthy breeze. To the north, though, we do see some of that cooling coming in, but as the front comes by, it should be pretty much dry. Across the southeast, MOTS, more of the same. Great day to get out and do some sunning or working in the yard in the southeast, but make sure you put on the sunscreen in Atlanta. It'll be 80 degrees. Chicago, Minneapolis, showers, thunderstorms. Fall to the south, St. Louis, Kansas City, breezy and balmy.
And where we find those storms firing up today, you may have to watch out for traveling, especially along 380 toward Waterloo.
Okay, more travel troubles out there. Talk about some fog and some heavy snows closing roads. Stay tuned for travel-wise.
This transmission is coming to you. You got it. You want to go?
The all-new 1999 Mazda Miata.
You got it.
It's waiting.
Beautiful, healthy trees. You need a fertilizer made for trees. One that feeds underground, at the root where trees eat. Job's Fertilizers.